Lottie.
Hi, Jen.
And welcome, Scottsdale Public Library friends, to Fun with Math and Science program. So here we are in our second week. But Lottie, there may be those who missed the first week. Can you give us some information to tell them exactly what this program's about and what we're going to do?
That's a good idea, Jen. We are here to provide week 2 of a 6-week program focusing on developing your child's mathematical and scientific thinking skills. Each week we will read stories, sing songs, give tips, and provide ideas on how you can support your child's growth and development for the concept of the week at home.
Excellent. So does that mean, like last week, we get to start with our fun action song?
It does. We're going to get the blood flowing, so we're going to start with our opening song, but that means you have to stand up to join us. It's called I Like to Stretch Up High.
Yes. And make sure you follow along and do all the movements we do. The words are going to appear on your screen, and we'll go through it twice so you have a chance to practice it once first.
Here we go. I like to stretch up high. I like to stretch down low. I like to stretch out wide, and then I touch my toes, and then I touch my nose, and then I touch my elbows. I like to lean like this. I like to lean like that. I like to lean way back and give myself a pat. I like to turn around. I like to jump up and down. But wait, how many times should we jump, Miss Jen?
Ooh, let's do 4.
All right, here we go, friends.
1,
2, 3, 4. I like to say hello to you. Hi. But please do not sit down. Let's do it again.
Yes, I like it.
I like to stretch up high. I like to stretch down low. I like to stretch out wide, and then I touch my toes, and then I touch my nose, and then I touch my elbows. I like to lean like this. I like to lean like that. I like to lean way back and give myself a pat. I like to turn around. I like to jump up and down. But wait.
Oh, yes.
Let's ask our friends at home.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I hear lots of numbers being shouted out.
Ooh, I do too.
What should we pick?
I think 3.
3? Here we go.
1,
2, 3. I like to say hello to you. Hello, friends. And will you please sit down?
That was fun, Lottie. So what is our concept for the week?
So this week's concept is counting and comparing. Part of counting and comparing is developing number sense. This happens in stages with kids. First, they rely on how things look to compare amounts.
Well, how do you do that?
Well, I have an example right behind us. Can you grab that plate?
Yes.
And I'm going to grab this plate. Are you sure you can grab that plate?
Maybe.
All right, so here's an example. We're using 2 piles of cookies. Which pile, you tell me at home, which pile has more cookies? Oh, I think it's yours, Miss Jen.
I think you're right.
I think
this
so.
Definitely looks like it has more.
Well, guess what? Children can tell which has more just by looking. But should we count them to make sure?
I think so. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I might have to make
You
one
have
disappear.
6 cookies. You're going to make one disappear, huh? Are you hungry?
They smell really good.
They do. So on my plate, I have 1, 2, 3.
Ooh.
So you guys were right. If you said that Miss Jen's pile of cookies has more cookies, and you could figure that out without counting, couldn't you? It's because
They're
you're
really
smart.
aren't they?
Yeah.
That's like a really tall stack.
Yes, I know. It's kind of wobbly.
Just a little.
So, next is the process of learning to count. This means that they can say the numbers in order. So, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, instead of 1, 2, 10, 6, 9.
Oh yeah, that is a little confusing.
You know what else they start to understand? 1-to-1 correspondence.
Okay, so that's where you count each object only one time like we did with the cookies.
That's right.
Okay.
Finally, we want children to understand that numbers are made of parts, so they can think of numbers flexibly. For example, here's 2 for you. Here's 2 for me. 2 apples plus 2 more apples equals 1, 2,
3, 4.
4 apples.
Oh, nice. Okay, so if you start with 4 apples
Mm-hmm.
and you take a bite, eat one.
You're eating the props.
Delicious.
Uh-huh.
But now you only have
1, 2, 3. Because she ate number 4. Miss Jen. We showed you how you can explore your number sense and all of these concepts with food just now. So wouldn't this be fun to do during meals?
Oh,
Maybe.
yeah.
You know?
They could count their peas.
They could count their peas on their plate. I used to count them because we had to eat one for every year we were old.
Oh, interesting.
Uh-huh.
That's a great way to learn math.
It is. But guess what? It's not lunchtime. It's fun with math and science time. And we're going to read our first book, Pete the Cat and His 4 Groovy Buttons. And it's written by Eric Litwin and illustrated by the creator of Pete the Cat, which is James Dean. And this book was published by Scholastic. Now, I sing a little song when I do this, so you need to sing along with me at home.
I bet you know this one. You may have heard it before.
Pete the Cat put on his favorite shirt with 4 big, colorful, round, groovy buttons. He loved his buttons so much, he sang this song. My buttons, my 4 groovy buttons. My buttons, my 4 groovy buttons. Pop! Oh no! One of the buttons popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? 3. And if you look, there's the word 3, the numeral 3, and then a math problem. 4 minus 1 equals 3.
And look, he has 3 buttons on his shirt. 1, 2, 3.
Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his song. My buttons, my 3 groovy buttons. Oops. My buttons, my 3 groovy buttons. Remember, we had 3 groovy buttons on this one.
I forgot.
Uh-oh, let's see what happens when we turn the page. Pop! Oh no! Another button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left?
So we had 3.
1 popped off. So now we're left with 2. You guys are so smart. There's the word 2, the numeral 2, and 3 minus 1 equals 2. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his song. My buttons, my 2 groovy buttons. My buttons, my 2 groovy buttons. Pop!
Oh no.
Oh no! Another button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? 1! Yep, that's right. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his song. My button, my 1 groovy button. My button, my 1 groovy button. What do you think's gonna happen? Can you make a popping sound? Here it comes. Pop! Oh no! The last button popped off and rolled away.
He doesn't have any left.
How many buttons are left?
I'm thinking.
0.
No more
buttons. But did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. Pete looked down at his buttonless shirt, and what do you think he saw?
You all have
His
one?
belly button.
Yeah.
And he kept on singing his song.
My
My button, still have my belly button. My button, still have my belly button. And he sang, it's all good. I guess it simply goes to show that stuff will come and stuff will go. But do we cry? Goodness, no. We keep on singing. Buttons come and buttons go. And that was our Pete the Cat and his 4 groovy buttons.
That was a wonderful book for counting and recognizing numbers. It was a great lead into our first parent tip.
It was, you're right. So, parents, kids need many opportunities to practice counting real objects because hands-on learning is how children learn best as opposed to worksheets.
Yeah, those are boring.
So today we've counted cookies
Mm-hmm.
and we've counted apples.
Yep.
I wonder, what do you think they have at home?
Oh, toys.
They have toys? Do you think we could find some toys too?
I bet you we could.
How about some cars? Do we have some cars?
I think so.
All right, Miss Jen, go look in that basket over there for some cars. You at home, find some toys that you can count with us. If you have cars, maybe get some cars. We have cars.
I found cars.
All right, I would like 4 cars, please, Miss Jen.
Okay. So there's
1, 2,
here's a fancy one.
3,
Ooh.
4. I have 4 cards. Now, Miss Jen, let's recount these at home. I would like you to point to them since my hands are full of cards.
We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's that one-to-one correspondence.
It
right?
is. That's one-to-one correspondence. That's
Nice.
right. Now, if we start with 4 cards, but I take 2 of them away, how many cards are we left with? 1, 2.
2 cars left.
Now we have 2 cards left. So you can count toys at home. You can count your stuffed animals. You can count just about anything.
Blocks, Legos, dolls.
Yeah.
There's
Those are
all
some
kinds of
great
things.
ideas. So things you can count. So practice all that counting at home. But you know what? Guess what time it is?
I bet you it's time for a counting song.
That's right. Today is a counting song because we're counting and comparing. And singing songs is a great way to incorporate learning concepts in a fun, interactive way.
Yes, and I bet you they learn it a lot better too because they're having fun while doing it.
Definitely. And you know what? Singing songs can be done just about anywhere.
Yes,
So,
which is fun. Okay, so our song is called 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can never do that. Once I caught a fish alive. We're going to sing it twice so you have a chance to practice. And the words will appear on the screen. Don't forget to follow along and do what we do. So, are you ready?
Are you ready? Get your hand ready. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I caught a fish alive. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then I threw him back again. Why did you let him go? Because he bit my finger so. Which finger did he bite? This little finger on the right. That was fun.
Yeah, but I think I need that extra round.
Do you think we need to do it again?
I think so.
All right, let's try it one more time.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I caught a fish alive. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then I threw him back again. Why did you let him go? Because he bit my finger so. Which finger did he bite? This little finger on the right. Well, that was fun.
It sure was, and it goes great with our second parent tip.
Oh, good.
So as we were talking about before, kids are learning when they're playing. Be sure to find ways to include counting and comparing in what they are doing. Have them count their toys or compare piles of blocks or Legos. You know, just like we did with our cookies.
Yeah, definitely. All right, it's time for our second book. Are you ready for another story?
Yes.
All right, we're going to read a story that compares amounts of items.
Yes.
This promotes scientific thinking or mathematical thinking.
Yes. And ooh, that should be very interesting. It's a good one. It's called Just Enough Carrots. It's written by Stuart J. Murphy and illustrated by Frank Remkowitz. And published by HarperCollins Publishers, Inc. Ooh, looks like they're at the grocery store. Nice. I want some more carrots. I really like carrots. When you eat them, you munch and you crunch. I know there are others who have many more carrots, but we have just one little bunch. Yes, horse has more carrots, but bird has the same amount. An elephant has even fewer. Our carrots, more carrots, the same number of carrots, and fewer carrots. I like these pictures that show the different amounts so you can compare them.
That's awesome.
We have too many peanuts. I don't like to eat peanuts. First you chomp, then you chew, and you chew. I'm sure there are others who have fewer peanuts. Why can't we buy just a few? Yes, squirrel has fewer peanuts, but bird has the same amount, and elephant has even more. Our peanuts, and I see 1, 2 bags. Fewer peanuts has only 1 bag. The same has 2 bags again. And more, oh my goodness, elephant must really like peanuts because there's 1, 2, 3, 4 bags of peanuts. Wow. Please don't buy any worms. I really hate worms. They squish and they squirm and they crawl. I'll bet there are others who have fewer worms. Let's not buy any at all. Yes, elephant has fewer worms, but frog has the same amount. And bird has even more. Our worms, fewer worms, the same number of worms, and more worms. You don't have to eat peanuts. You don't have to eat worms. And we have just enough carrots to munch. I bought all of these peanuts and all of these worms because elephant and bird are coming for lunch. Chomp, chomp, and chew. Squish, squirm, and crawl. Munch, munch, and crunch. Yummy carrots for lunch.
What a great book, Miss Jen.
It really was, and it was fantastic at comparing things. Those pictures were great examples for the kiddos to see exactly more, the same, less.
I agree.
Yes.
Did you notice how that book was pretty simple? Books that show math and science concepts don't have to be complex.
No.
But now it's time to find your science and math superpowers.
This is her favorite part.
We are going to uncover,
Wait a second, it's doing it again.
discover, and explore things that you can do at home to focus on these concepts.
That's pretty cool.
I know.
How that does that.
I don't know, but I like it. So, first thing we're going to talk about is books, because of course we're coming to you from the library. So, there are tons and tons of counting books. A number slumber, 1 leaf, 2 leaves, count with me.
Counting cockatoos.
Let's show them 2 more.
Mouse count.
And
10 pigs. And they're always lots of fun because there's usually lots of antics that go on in these books.
yes. Let's see what else we have in here.
A lot of counting.
We have, oh, I like this one. This one's called Count the Monkeys. So if we open these books, we can of course count the pictures. Let me find a good easy page to count. We have 4 grizzly bears on this page. Can you count those bears?
1, 2, 3, 4. And that
That's
poor guy
right.
didn't get anything out of that basket.
Oh, poor bear.
You know what else is really fun in counting books too? A lot of times is when they're interactive. This one's a great one. 10 little fingers and 10 little toes. Because not only can you count them in the book, but you can count them on your little one and just make it a fun game while you're doing it.
That sounds like fun. So there's lots of things that you can do with books that support counting and comparing. But you might not have these books at home, but you can find them at the library.
Yep.
So remember that. There are also things you can do with your toys and other household items to count and compare. So we're going to start with some nature items because you can go outside to find these, and that's a lot of fun. And I'm going to put out these pine cones. Put them in a row so you can see them all. And then I'm gonna put out my tree cookies. And these I'm gonna stack. Uh-oh. All right. So, can you compare these two items? I bet you can. Which one do you think has more?
Ooh, I hear them. They're checking. But you know, it's funny because some are guessing each one.
Oh.
And I wonder if it's because the pine cones are so big.
Oh, it could be. But let's count them and find out for sure. We have 1, 2, 3 pine cones.
We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 tree cookies.
Wow.
So the taller stack actually is bigger, isn't it?
It is in this case. Sometimes that's not the case.
Yes. Sometimes it's a little confusing.
Yes. We also could have compared 3 of our pine cones to my magic two little pine cones. And which pile has more? You guys are right. It's the one with the big pine cones. They're bigger and there's more of them.
Okay, but I've got a good one for you. What if I take one of those away? Now which one has more?
She's tricking you.
That's why it's really good to practice these concepts at home with the kiddos, because there's actually 1, 2, 1, 2, the same amount, but it looks like more because those are bigger.
She was trying to trick us. Nature items are so much fun. I like going out and collecting pine cones and things like that. All right, but I have in my basket of fun some other stuff that you can do. Do you remember that last week, we made Play-Doh?
Oh, yes.
So I have my Play-Doh tray, and I have my Play-Doh here. And you can use your Play-Doh to count and compare. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take my Play-Doh and I'm gonna make round balls. Let's look at that. Which one has more?
Ooh.
Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3.
So hers has more.
5 is bigger than 3.
Yep.
So it has more. So that's just one thing that you can do with the Play-Doh. All right, you could also make snakes out of them. You know, roll them, make long snakes, and you can count those. And you can compare those by putting them into piles and all that fun stuff. I mean, I think Play-Doh is a lot of fun to play with because it's fun to squish it in between your fingers, but it also builds fine motor skills. So it's like a double duty kind of play toy.
I was just thinking about that.
Were you?
Yes, I was.
All right. So,
okay.
you know, we talked about cars and trucks earlier, but
Yeah.
what about our stuffed animals?
Ooh, yes.
Here we go. Can you count the animals with me? Come on, Bear, sit up. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 animals. That's so cool. You know what? We could compare 2 different toys. Could you put the animals in a pile? Sure. Put them all together. And we know there's 4 animals, right?
Yes.
Oh, we're going to compare them, and we're going to make this kind of tough.
Okay, so can you at home figure out which has more? I mean, this pile is huge, but this pile is small, but each one is bigger than each one of those.
That's true. Do you remember how many stuffed animals there were? You're right, there were 4. Let's count them again to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 stuffed animals. Let's count our cars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Ooh, 9
Which
is.
number is bigger?
Here's 9, and here's only 4.
That
It
9
takes
is
2
bigger.
hands.
It does. That 9 is bigger. So there's more cars than there are stuffed animals. Learning to compare different size groups and still being able to tell which one has more is a really important skill you need to learn.
And then you get to practice your 1-on-1 correspondence when you count them.
That's right. So
Ooh, we get to play with stuff.
we're going to play with stuff. So I have some pom-pom balls. And you know what? Not everybody has pom-pom balls at home. And that's okay. And I have some bowls in here. Oh, maybe if I can get the bowls apart. Go ahead, Miss Jen. And you know what's else really cool? I have a couple pairs of tongs. I just need 2 if you can get 2 apart. Whoa, they go flying.
How about 3?
There we go. We have 3 balls. So I have tongs. Do you have tongs at home? Great. Ask mom or dad if you're allowed to use them. This is a great way to build some fine motor skills in your hands because you have to pinch them together. All right. So
Suddenly they're all coming apart.
well, I don't need that many. Thank you. We're going to use 2 bowls, and I'm going to pour some of my pom-poms into one bowl. We'll need those in a minute. And I'm going to take my tongs, and I'm going to pick up the pom-pom ball, and I'm going to put it in another bowl. I'm going to count it. 1, 2, ooh, a tiny one, 3, 4, 5. Now I have 5 in this bowl. A variation on this game could be to take some sticky notes or little pieces of paper. Doesn't have to be sticky notes, that just happens to be what we have. And a marker or a pen, and how about write the number 3 on that one? And let's do one more, and let's write the number 10. Ooh. All right, so we have a 3 and a 10. And I'm going to take these numbers and I'm going to stick them inside my bowl. So now I have a bowl that says the number 3, and I have a bowl that says the number 10. Now, what I want you to do is use your tongs and use your pom-pom balls, or if you don't have pom-pom balls, but you have cotton balls, that works too. And we're going to put 3 in here. 1, 2, 3. So I have 3 in there. And in this one, how many? What's that number again? 10. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I got a bonus one. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can do this at home, can't you? A lot of fun. So that's just using bowls and some balls, pom-pom balls or cotton balls, or you could even use Q-tips if you have those, because those are kind of hard to pick up with tongs.
Oh, yeah.
And that practices that. And if you don't have bowls, I bet some of you have paper plates. We have paper plates, same thing. You can take that sticky note, put it right on there, or if it's a paper plate and you don't need to use it, you can even write that number right on the plate. And then you can put the pom-pom balls or whatever it is you're counting into the plate or into the bowl, and use those tongs and build those fine motor skills. All right. So we gave you some great ideas on things you can do for fine motor skill development that has to do with counting and comparing. Now we're going to share some gross motor, some big muscle groups, things that you can do. So we can do actions.
Yes.
Like jumping jacks.
Yes.
So let's do some jumping jacks. How about 4?
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. I did 4 jumping jacks.
Did you do them at home with us too? Remember, you can do this stuff with us.
I hope you did. You know what else you can do?
What?
You can hop.
Ooh, yes. How about 1 foot though?
Hop on 1 foot.
Yes.
Because that helps with your balance.
Yes. Okay.
How many times are you going to hop?
I'm going to try and do 5.
All right. Let's
All right,
see what you can
let's
do, Miss
go.
Jen.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Miss Jen hit her knee on the table. Ouch. But she hopped on 1 foot 5 times.
Yep.
That's great. You know what else you can do? Because I have hands and they like to be noisy.
Ooh, so how many times are you going to clap?
I think we should clap 7 times.
7.
Woo, here we go.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We did fast claps because that was more fun. Can we do it even faster?
Ooh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Woo!
That makes you really count quick.
Yes, it does. You have to know those numbers to count fast. You know what else you could do? I like to wiggle.
I know you do.
Could we wiggle 3 times?
Sure.
1, 2, 3. Oh, wiggle those bodies. Good job. Oh, all right. So another game that you can play is hopscotch. And we have ours mounted on the wall, so we can't really play it right here because that would be kind of hard.
Yes.
But I know it's getting hot outside in Arizona right now. You could use painter's tape to make hopscotch inside on your floor, on the carpet or on the tile.
Yep.
And what's cool about painter's tape is
It won't wreck it.
doesn't stick
And
forever. It just peels right off.
Doesn't leave it. Don't use duct tape.
No,
That
painter's
will-
tape.
Duct tape will wreck your floor and carpet.
We want to use painter's tape.
Yes.
So, and then you would just make the grid with the numbers on it, and then you hop from spot to spot.
Mhm.
Another thing we could do.
Mhm.
Oh, you know what? How about sidewalk chalk?
Ooh, yes. Yeah, maybe in some of those evenings when it's a little cooler, the sun's gone down, but you can still see in your driveway.
Yes.
Yes.
Definitely. Use sidewalk chalk, make shapes, and put numbers in them, and they can hop that many times or
Take giant
steps.
Mm-hmm. Or they could do frog leaps.
Ooh, frog leaps are
Those
fun.
are fun.
Or crab walks.
Ooh, yes, that would be.
Yes, crab walks are hard.
Yes, they are.
Yes,
That would really work those gross motor muscles.
yes, it will. All right, so those are some of the things that you can do with your large muscles to build gross motor skills at home.
Mm-hmm. And to help practice counting.
That's right.
So those were a lot of really good ideas, Monty, for everybody to do at home.
I hope those activities helped you. And I think they will really help you find your science and math superpowers. And you know what? I'm sure there are other things you can uncover, discover, and explore
Explore.
at home.
Well, I didn't do it this time. I had to help.
I know. You're so silly, Miss Jen.
Yes, that's true. Unfortunately, it's time for our goodbye song.
Oh, we have our science and math goodbye song.
Yes.
I bet you don't remember it from next week, so we're gonna put the words on the screen so you can sing along with us. But guess what? For all 6 weeks, it'll be the same song. So I bet you'll know it by the end.
Yes, you will.
Here we go.
All right.
Science, science, and some math. Science, science, and some math. Science, science, and some math. That's what we explored today. We had some fun, but now we're done. We had some fun, but now we're done. We had some fun, but now we're done. Science and math explore all day. All right, thanks for joining us. Be sure to find many opportunities to count and compare during your daily activities this week.
And don't forget to join us next week when we'll be talking about geometry and identifying attributes. We hope to see you then. And remember, each week builds on the one before.
That's right. Bye, friends.
Bye. Have a great day.
See you next time.